welcome to Happy Chick. Today we are going to basically rough rack the sake. I'm going to do a specific gravity and then transfer to a clean demijohn, and then we're going to add some mulberries to infuse to make this a mulberry infused sake. So let's get cracking. So it's been in this bucket for about 20 days and she's still bubbling away. So I don't know if she's off-gassing or if she's completely used up all of the food that was from the rice. I've never done this before, so according to the recipes, that's what I'm supposed to do. There's no added sugar into this. It's basically just water, rice, and the koji rice that was like infused with koji fungus, mold, I don't know what it's called. A little Epsom salt for magnesium, and also some yeast nutrient, since that's all that's in there is rice, water, and yeast. So I've never used it before, so we're going to give it a try. And then let's get a gravity reading. Now mind you, this is going to be kind of skewed because of the fact that there was no sugar to start off with. This is all starch fed from the rice, and it had to leak out. So this just will let me know whether it did anything, or, I mean, I'm pretty sure it did, but ooh, holy cow, overflowed that. Okay, so it's not even floating. Barely. Let me see. Is it floating now? No. No. So it is reading at the 1. 1.000. I'm going to write that down though. It's probably closer to 0.999. So I'm going to go 0.999 to 1.000 spagher. So it's dropped about 30 points. I'm going to take a taste of it too. Just to kind of, you know. Now, with the smell, it's pretty neutral. I mean, I have a small smell of something, but I can't put my finger on it. And I do smell a little bit of alcohol, so I know it has done something. And once again, the taste is pretty neutral. I mean, it almost has a citrusy taste to it, but not quite. Very thin flavored though. But I think most sakes are on that thin, almost watery kind of flavor. So I think the mulberries definitely would add to this, and then some more time, of course. It's not bad. It's not overly sweet at all either. It's pretty dry. But I guess it would be kind of like what rice water would be kind of tasting. Because it's fermented rice water, basically. So let's go ahead and get this thing racked. Or rough racked, basically. Now, since I've got the rice in there, I'm not sure if the auto siphon is going to work very well, but I'm going to give it a try. If that's the case, if that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way with some sieves and some bags that are like a milk bag for nut milks and stuff like that, to try to sieve out the rice. In real sake making, they actually press the rice to extract all of the liquid out the can, but I don't have that, so I'm going to do the next best thing and squeeze it. So let's go ahead and get this let's try getting this going at least. So let me clean this mess up and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, that was a mess. Well, the rice went right through the siphon, which I was afraid of. So I ended up having to use one of these nut milk bags. These are like really fine meshed bags. And I basically just filtered the gunk through and squeezed all the liquid out. And I got this plus some extra, just in case my mulberries don't fill up the rest of the way. Now, the primary fermentation has been done, so I don't have to worry about it over, going into the airlock. Hopefully, anyway. So, I'm not going to use a bag for the berries. I'm just going to chuck them in, and they'll end up going down to the bottom probably. These are mulberries. I've got them from my brother's yard. He has a mulberry tree, and they look kind of smashed them up a little bit, unfortunately, but this is what they kind of look like. They look like a blackberry, I guess, but a little bit more conical shaped. I don't know how sweet these are. Not overly sweet. So I don't know how much sugar they're going to add to it. So, but it's going to add a lovely purple color, I'm sure, to it. I most likely will be adding some sugar to this because it's pretty dry right now, I think. So let's go ahead and add these boysenberries. There's stems and all that, and seeds, and that'll get filtered out later on. So let me just. These are frozen and then defrosted so that the cell walls break up, and I get as much juice out of this as I can. So let me just go ahead and chuck these in here. I weighed this and it's about 9 ounces, I think, is what we ended up going. So a little bit over a cup's worth of mulberries. Okay. Move this out of my way now. Let's do one last specific gravity because of the mulberries I added. It's still at 1.00. It's barely floating. So, okay. So we've got the mulberries in. This is going to infuse for a little bit, a couple of weeks maybe, and then we'll check back with her. See you later. So it's been about 10 days since the mulberries have been infused in the sake. So it's time for us to rough rack those mulberries out. So I'm going to put my siphoning tube in the mesh bag and hopefully that will get rid of some of these mulberries that are floating. Most of them are down below, but there is a thin line that is floating, so hopefully I can get rid of that. And then I'm trying to avoid this white stuff as well. So when I'm siphoning, I'm going to be as careful as I can to avoid all of this. This is the leaves actually. So it's the spent yeast, the rice particles that didn't get siphoned out, or I didn't clear up very well, starches, things like that. All right, so let's do a specific gravity just to see if anything's changed. Like I said before, I don't know what the ABV is going to be on this, since I don't know the conversion of the yeast eating the rice starch, because we didn't use sugar in this, remember? So this is just really a guide to let me know if anything's changed, anything's, if it's done anything. So just trying to keep track of it. I may end up putting sugar in this if this is on the dry side, because I really do not enjoy dry wines. But I know that this imparts its own kind of sweetness, but it's not real sugar sweetness. So I don't know what to tell you on that. And this really is not floating. So I'm thinking that this is really still on the dry side. Yeah. Because I think it was, yeah, I couldn't really tell. It was like 0.999 to 1.00. And it is still at 1.000. So it has not really changed anything. I didn't think the mulberries would impart much sugar because they're not overly sweet. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pour a little bit out just to taste it. Whoop. I do have a couple of mulberries seeds in there. Yeah, it's extremely dry. It kind of has almost like a sour note to it. And I don't know whether it's because it's the rice or if it's the mulberries or just because it's dry. I'm not a... This is weird. Because to me it tastes like bacon. Honestly, it tastes like bacon. Oh, have I totally screwed this up? I don't know. But to me, it tastes like bacon. It has that reminiscence of cooked bacon. Oh boy. Well, I will be sweetening this. I know it, because if it's like this, I would not enjoy this. I don't think a lot of people would enjoy this. So I think I am going to sweeten this once I've racked it off of the leaves and the berries. Tastes like bacon. It doesn't smell like bacon though, but it tastes like bacon to me. That is so weird. I don't know. Crikey, it does. It tastes like bacon. Oh my God. I brewed bacon wine. No. All right, let's get this, yeah, let's go ahead and get this going. I had a few mulberry seeds in here, so I'm just using the thingy for that. Let me get set up for transferring this. Oh my stars. This is like the weirdest brew I think I have ever done. I think this beats the onion brew, and I don't think it's going to be tasting nearly as well as the onion wine. I don't know. Once it's sweetened though, it might. I don't know. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, I'm going to set up for transferring from this carboy to this carboy, and we'll be right back. And of course, everything's been sanitized. This is what I have from the mulberry sake. Now, I probably did suck up some of that white leaf stuff, but that's okay because it's going to still age some. I'm putting in some sugar so it might re-ferment. So it's all good. It's okay. This is a process and we're just going to work through it. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to put in about a half a cup of sugar just to sweeten this up. I'm going to start with a half a cup and see where that takes us. And so half a cup of sugar, because like I said, I am not happy with the flavor of this. It's really bitter, and like I said, it just is not sweet at all. I like sweeter wines. I mean, I don't like them cloyingly sweet. I'll drink them every once in a while, but just a nice, slightly sweet wine I do enjoy. And this is just too dry. I know sakis are not like cloyingly sweet usually, but this is just undrinkable to me. And I'm the one that needs to taste it, right? So, okay. I think the sugar's dissolved on that. It's at 10:20. All right, I'm happy with the 10:20, I think. I'm going to taste it one more time, though. That's getting a little bit of that sour note out. Strangely, it does still remind me of bacon, though. I don't get it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put an airlock back on this. We're going to check back with this probably, I'm going to give this, I think I'll probably give this like a month. At least a couple of weeks to a month. And I'll check on it to see what she's doing. If she's stayed the same, I don't know. So we'll be back with this one